I just had my first experience with dumping syndrome, and I actually look great compared to how I looked about half an hour ago. And I'm trying to hold this manually up because I am laying flat. That is the only thing that has seemed to help me settle my system down a little bit. But I wanted to capture it. My face is still really pink and hot. My heart rate jumped up to the 120s, 130s range, which is totally unacceptable. And if you guys haven't researched dumping syndrome, you guys can still see how warm and pink my face is, and this is about 30 minutes after it happened. But if you haven't researched dumping syndrome, or your doctor hasn't filled you in on what that is, it's when you get overfull or you eat too much sugar, your body is gonna react. And between your stomach, your duodenum, and your intestine, too much liquid moves in too quickly, and then you experience dumping syndrome. And I'm about a little over 2.5 weeks out from my surgery and hadn't experienced it at all yet. And let me tell you, I just did it to myself. And I'll just tell you guys exactly what happened today and how I ended up experiencing this, because I don't want any of you guys to go through this. You see what I look like right now, and this looks good compared to a half an hour ago. So my job, I'm a nurse, but I'm a director for a large healthcare organization, and I am on the phone on conference calls sometimes 10 plus hours a day. So that was my issue that I've always told you guys since the very beginning. Is my issue is that I don't eat, and my body has packed on this weight thinking that's starving. So today I had a couple of shakes, and that was it. And that's not how I've been doing life since my surgery. Or since, you know, the 2 weeks before surgery on the liquid diet. So, you know, I had a great couple of days. I actually had a great day today. Today was my daughter's sweet 16, and got to have breakfast with her this morning and stuff. I'm trying to find an angle that doesn't like glare on y'all, that's not going to cut my head off when I post this video in iMovie. So if you guys want to know what I use to make my videos and my transitions and everything, my introductions, it's iMovie. It's on your iPhone. It's very easy to use. I'm self-taught on YouTube on how to do all this stuff. But I had a great day today. I actually went and ran a couple of errands after, because my daughter is not with me this weekend. She's with her dad. And I went and ran some errands, and I went to get a belt, because the funniest things are happening is that I'm losing so many inches, even though the pounds are, you know, I'm down to like 240 from my weight at the doctor 4 weeks ago of 266. It's still not that much down from surgery, but the inches that I have lost are ridiculous, to the point that my underwear doesn't fit and it falls down underneath my butt cheeks, and my jeans are doing the same thing. So I don't want to buy new clothes yet, because I have a trip to LA with my best friend and my daughter and her husband next month. And I wanted to wait and get more pounds off and more inches off before I buy a new wardrobe to go to Los Angeles. So, common sense, right? So I went and got a belt, and I was looking at new jeans, and I actually tried on a pair of not plus size jeans in a size 16, not 16 women, not the plus size, but regular 16, and they actually zipped up and buttoned. Now, did my thighs look like squished little sausages in them? And I didn't have any like busted biscuits over the top or anything, which I was shocked, but they were just way too tight for me to buy yet. But I think by LA, I might even be a size smaller than that. So I was thrilled that I had been able to put on a regular size instead of a women's plus size jeans today. And they were Rockin' Republic, y'all. I haven't been able to wear a Rockin' Republic since it was created. I got a shirt, an extra large though, because they do run small that fit, and it was like super cute. So in any event, so I went the majority of the day today without eating and without getting my protein in, like I have been so diligent about, because I know the repercussions of that, and I didn't ever want to experience dumping syndrome. Well, let me tell you what, it's no joke, okay? So I hadn't eaten, I got off the phone, went and ran errands, and I was starving. And I don't really have a hunger reflex or, trigger in my brain that says you're hungry right now, because I've been diligently taking in the protein and drinking my shakes and stuff to the point that I'm just not hungry. And I know that, I've been doing it right. So today I was starving. I'd been on the phone all day. I've only been back to work 2 days, and this week, just the 2 days that I was back were insane. Talked all day, blah, blah, blah. So I went to Panera Bread and I got a bowl of broccoli cheese soup. It's not any kind of chunky soup. It was smooth, creamy. There was no sugar. I didn't need any sugar. I had unsweet tea, put some equal in that and stuff, but I reverted back to an old habit of mine, which was watching TV, reading my Kindle, and eating mindlessly at the same time. And that's what I did with that bowl of soup, not cup. I was so hungry, I thought, oh, I'll order a bowl, I'll just eat half and I'll save it for tomorrow. Don't do that. Just order the cup, because you put yourself at risk of overeating, and then you're gonna feel like you're gonna die, like I did. So I was mindlessly eating, and I looked down and I had almost finished an entire bowl of soup. And that's not good. 1, you're gonna have dumping syndrome. And 2, you're gonna stretch that stomach out or your pouch out. And that is not something that you ever wanna do. So I, about 10 minutes after I had eaten all the soup, I felt fine. But the other thing that I did wrong, and we have to be gentle with ourselves, because we are relearning how to eat and relearning how to drink. And I was so thirsty. I had been sipping my water throughout the day, but I was super thirsty. And I took this gigantic gulp of unsweet tea, just not even thinking, because I was reading my Kindle. And let me tell you, not even 10 minutes later, I was in the bathroom, totally sick, throwing up. I hate throwing up. I don't think there's anybody out there that likes or enjoys throwing up. With my history of eating disorders and being anorexic and bulimic when I was in my teenage years, I am not anorexic. So when I say I don't eat, obviously I'm not anorexic, or I wouldn't have just had bariatric surgery and wouldn't have had a BMI that would have qualified, whether I paid for it or not. You don't just drop $10,000 not to adhere to this diet, whether you're self-pay like I was or your insurance covers it. You don't want to revert back, and you want to make sure that you're following and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. Well, tonight I didn't, and I paid the price for it, because my body and my stomach let me know, not even 10 minutes after, you're going to be sick and this is going to be ugly. So I sat for a few minutes with my fingers crossed, thinking, maybe if I sit still, it'll stop. If I sit up, it'll stop. Yeah, no, that didn't help. My face turned bright red. The nausea hit me like a wave. I was sweating profusely like I had run a marathon. I was dizzy. I was lightheaded. I got to the bathroom, threw up multiple times. It was almost like my stomach was just trying to empty itself of all of the contents that were in there. So it was a terrible experience, and it was almost like, when you drink too much and the next morning you're sick and you just want to like hang your head on the porcelain because it's so cold. That's what I did for like 10 or 15 minutes after I got sick. My heart rate spiked up in the 120, 130 range, which is ridiculous, because my resting heart rate is about in the 60s on any given at any given time. So that shows you how badly my body reacted to that. And it was extremely dangerous, because I was very dizzy and very lightheaded, and I am here by myself. So had I passed out, being here by myself, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know what would have happened. So thank God that didn't happen, but I still feel awful. My cheeks are still pretty pink. And I mean, these are my cheeks compared to what they were are probably about 20 shades lighter of red than what I was when this was going on. So please don't overeat. Please don't mindlessly eat. Please don't distract yourself and eat, because you don't want to feel like this. I promise you. I will never let this happen again if I can help it. I have worried about this since the very beginning, since even before I had the surgery, of what things am I going to put into place and what changes am I going to make sure that I don't experience dumping, because I had heard that it was awful. Let me tell you, it's worse than awful, and it's not something that you want to experience. No amount of food or comfort eating or anything like that is worth feeling like you're gonna die. And that's exactly how I felt for 10 to 15 minutes after I was sick. I felt like I was gonna die. And yeah, I have pretty good tolerance to stuff the majority of the time, but this was a horrible feeling. And I have been laying flat on my back for 45 minutes. About 45 minutes. I came straight to the couch. I cranked the AC down, turned the fan up to try and cool myself off, because I was so overheated and sweating so profusely, and my heart rate was so far up there that I knew I needed to get my body temperature calmed down and cooled down, and that I needed to be horizontal instead of vertical. Anytime I've ever been nauseous, even when I was pregnant with my kids and had morning sickness, laying flat is the only thing that ever helps me. And if I've ever been hungover from drinking, laying flat is the only thing that helps me when I'm nauseous. Sitting up doesn't do it for me, guys. So I promised you guys that I would be raw and honest in these videos, and, keeping up with this journey. And very rarely will you ever see me looking like crap like I look right now. But I wanted to capture it on video for those of you that are my surgery twins. I know I have some of y'all out there, and I appreciate you following me so much. For those of you that have newly had your surgery, or will be having your surgery soon, or even if you're considering surgery, just know that this surgery doesn't fix it all. You have to change your behaviors. You have to change the volume of the amount of food that you put into your body. You have to sip and not gulp. Even if you're so thirsty, you can't gulp a bottle of water. You're gonna puke. I will tell you that. There wasn't any sugar in my soup. This was pure volume, and it happens when the stomach takes in so much liquid, and the duodenum and the intestine, there's so much liquid that goes down into that intestinal area so quickly from your stomach into the intestine, that you're going to be sick. And then all the other symptoms that go along with it. There are other symptoms. You can have diarrhea, you can faint. There's just a lot that goes along with it. I would very much encourage you guys to look up dumping syndrome and have an understanding of what it is and what causes it. Overeating causes it. Too much sugar causes it. I stay away from sugar altogether. If I can avoid it, I try to stick with 2 grams of sugar or less, even in my protein shakes, the things that I drink, even fruit juices and everything, I'm staying away from, because I wanted to avoid that at all costs. Instead, tonight, I ate too much liquid. I ate too much soup and experienced it. And I am never going to experience that again if I can help it, because it was a horrible feeling to go through. So I wanted to capture this on video. Subscribe, turn your notifications on to keep up with my journey. I'll probably post another video Sunday to let you guys know how I'm feeling since then, and just, to make sure that nothing else has happened. I know this was dumping syndrome because it happened within 10 minutes of me eating just too much. It was quite simple. So I'm not going to let that happen again. I keep thinking that I'm bulletproof. I think a lot of us think we're bulletproof, and, oh, I'm hungry, and, I could just eat this whole bowl of soup. Don't do it. Don't put yourself through this, because it is miserable. I am going to try and go to bed early tonight, because I still feel pretty bad. My stomach hurts. My body hurts. It feels like I have the flu right now, and I know that I'm not sick. I know that I did this to myself, which frustrates me even more. But I just want to encourage you to really watch your intake, sip your water, and don't put yourself through this. Let me be your guinea pig and show you that it freaking sucks. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. Like I said, I'll post another video this weekend. Things will probably be better the next time I post a video, but I did want to capture this shortly after it happened so I could let you guys see and hear truly how I was feeling after that happened. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll post a new video soon.